How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Blake Check. If you're new to the channel, my name is Blake. It's nice to meet you. Today you join me in sunny Mesa, Arizona at SmartFilm. This is my buddy's film shop, and we are here with my 2018 Tesla Model 3 Performance Stealth Edition. You guys have heard me talk enough about this car. If you want to learn more about it, about what the Stealth and Stealth Edition means, there will be some videos linked in the description below. Highly recommend checking those out. But we are here at this film shop in order to get the windshield tinted on my Model 3. As soon as I took delivery of this thing, like you do, I took it and got the surrounding glass tinted, but I neglected to get the windshield tinted, and that was a mistake. This is kind of the entry point for a lot of heat that's getting into the cabin of my car, especially when it gets hot here in the summer. You want to do your best to reject the heat in your electric car because that helps increase range. The less that your AC has to work, the more fuel you are saving in an electric car or in a gas-driven car. So this video is going to be really informative for all of you guys. So let's hop inside the shop so I can talk to my buddy Brad so he can guide us through the tint selection process. What's up, Brad?
Hey, Blake.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
What's going on?
Okay, so like I was telling you, the surrounding glass on my car is already tinted, but you were going to help me select the windshield tint. So I defer to your expertise.
Yep.
Where should we start?
So SmartFilm offers a ton of different films for your needs. So
Let's go take a look.
yeah, I've got everything ranging from mostly just for privacy, all the way up to maximum heat rejection,
Okay.
and everything in between. So starting with this one, if you just want to block some UV light, do XPEL CS. A little bit more heat rejection, SmartFilm ceramic. Better heat rejection, a thicker ceramic, XR black. And then XR Plus is a ceramic infrared film hybrid.
Okay.
So it means it's both technologies together. That's going to block out more heat than anything else.
Okay.
So I would recommend, if you're going to do your windshield and you want to maximize that heat rejection, do this.
Okay. What are because I know there are some rules on like state law and like what you're allowed to tint your car to. What technically are those rules for the windshield?
Technically, you're not supposed to put anything on the windshield.
Okay.
The law is 20 or 30 years old, and it just says no tint.
Okay.
So like in that case, if someone was worried about that.
So that just means like color when like no tint, right?
Right,
Okay.
exactly.
Gotcha.
If you wanted to do something just to block the heat with no tint to it, then you want to do something like XR80.
Okay.
If you want to, reduce glare a little bit, because that's the only other benefit to going darker on a windshield, is reduction in glare. So you do something like 70% XR black. If you want maximum heat rejection, a little bit of glare rejection, XR Plus.
Okay.
By far.
That's a pretty easy rundown. So for the layman, the way that you were describing it, it kind of like the heat rejection and just like the quality of the product kind of like increases as we work our way this direction.
Exactly. One common misconception that I hear a lot is that darker equals better heat rejection.
Oh, really? It doesn't?
Completely not true.
Wow. Okay.
All of that film starts out clear in the factory.
Okay.
And then they dye it different shades. So XR Plus 70, where you almost have no tint, is going to reject way more heat than say like CS 5%.
Interesting. Okay.
That's just going to be a darker normal film.
So it's really, I mean, other than cosmetic, what's the benefit of going like with a darker tint?
It's mostly cosmetic.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
some people
news
like
to
the
me.
look. If you got a show car and you want to limo the whole thing out, cool. But it's just as effective in the clear as it is in the limo.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, that's part of the reason that I'm here is like, obviously I want to reduce the heat getting into the cabin of my car, but I sort of want to maintain the consistency of the color of the glass around the car. And it just looks a little awkward right now. I just freaked out a little bit because my car's backing up, but I just realized that they're taking it back to get tinted. But that being said, I think we are going to probably go with something either the 70% XPEL XR Plus or the 50% XPEL XR Plus. What would you recommend?
I personally, on my Model 3, I have 50%.
Okay.
It's what most of us run because it's going to just cut the glare down, especially like at night with the new like HID headlights and stuff like that. I like it. It's easier on my eyes.
Okay.
But it's not going to reject any more heat. It's just a look that I like.
Okay.
So that's what I'd recommend.
I think that's what I'm going to go with. Well, the car's already going to get worked on. I heard from a little birdie that there might be a Rivian R1T in the back.
Let's check it out.
Okay, let's go check it out. And here it is, the Rivian R1T. So for those of you guys that don't know, the Rivian R1T is a fully electric, full-size pickup truck that is offered by Rivian. They are a new electric startup company. Well, not new anymore. I think they've been around for a few years at this point. But this is their first offering to the public. And this car has been making deliveries to paying customers for the past few months. I've been seeing more and more of these hit the streets. So there are already a ton of really good YouTube videos on this car that go really in depth. So this is going to be a more condensed overview of everything that I think that is cool about this car. So as far as specs and numbers and all that stuff, I'm going to throw those on the screen for you guys right now so you have that information. If you want to learn more about the Rivian R1T and the specs and see those in-depth videos, I'm going to have some of those linked in the description below. But let's get started with some of the cool features that I like about this car. The first thing is the way that you charge it. So the charge port is up here, and I really like the way that that charge door rotates out. But the cool thing about the charging is some of these visual aspects that go along with charging. So you see that the LEDs here turn green as soon as you plug the car in. I think that's a nice little touch. Actually, you'll notice a common theme as I'm going over everything that I like about this car. There's just really nice little touches that show that Rivian's paying attention to their customer base. And so that's the first. The second, if we work our way around to the driver's side, is this little flashlight that's tucked away into the door. So the Rivian is supposed to be like an adventure-oriented car for people that like to take their truck camping, kayaking, biking, and all that stuff. So stuff like this is going to cater to that audience. And so the next thing that I want to talk to you guys about is in the center console, there is a little portable speaker that is removable. So while it's plugged in, I'm sure it functions as one of the interior cabin surround speakers, but you can pull it out and take it with you to your tent or campsite or whatever, and bring your tunes with you wherever you go. And actually this speaker doubles as a portable charge bank. So you can take it with you to your campsite and use it to charge your mobile devices on the go too. Pretty cool. So let's put that back where we got it. So while we're in here, I just want to comment on the fit and finish of the Rivian R1T's interior. As I showed you guys before, this car has a premium price tag, but it actually looks like you're getting your money's worth. I'm seeing quality materials pretty much everywhere I look, from the dashboard with this leather stitching and this textured wood grain here and this aluminum trim, to the seats that have some more contrast stitching and Alcantara on the B pillar and headliner. There's also this panoramic glass that's not something that you often see in full-size trucks at this price point, so that's really nice to see. And my favorite part is actually that the yellow that is included or incorporated into the Rivian logo makes an appearance in kind of just like little hidden areas of the car. So on the headrest, I don't know if you guys can see it, there's that yellow again, on those door handles up there, on the brake calipers too, we're seeing that same yellow make an appearance, and even on these little buckles in the rear seat. So I like little touches like that, so that might just be me being a nerd about this car. But if we come back around to the front of the car, I'm gonna show you guys some of the tech that's included here. So it looks like you get 2 displays, your center display, as well as a digital gauge cluster ahead of the steering wheel. As far as the center display goes, looks like you get all of your vehicle functions, you get your nav, media, all of that stuff, climate controls, and this is going to be a minimalist design that has less buttons and more controls in the screen. I know that triggers some of you guys. For me personally, I hate buttons. I hate clutter in general, so I'd love to see a design like this. So that's one of the things that I like most about the Rivian R1T, is that it is an adventure vehicle, but it also has a minimalist design. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about the center screen. Looks like it's super responsive. It's running, I think, a Google-based navigation system, so similar to Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and the navigation system that is in all of Tesla's. So that's going to be something that you guys are all familiar with. But anyways, let's move on along to the exterior of the car. I want to show you guys the gear tunnel. So this is quite possibly my favorite feature on this car. Let's move around to the back. And as in addition to the frunk that this car has and the rear cargo area, there's also this additional third storage space. This is the gear tunnel. I've seen people climb inside of this thing. I'm probably not going to do that. I don't think I need to do that for you guys. But you can imagine you can put maybe your golf clubs, skis, I don't know, anything else that is long and sort of narrow can fit into this gear tunnel. And I've also heard that Rivian will sell you an accessory for the gear tunnel that actually slides out and functions as a sink and stovetop. So that's really cool, just kind of thinking about how this gear tunnel can be useful to Rivian's customers who like to go on adventures and go camping and stuff like that. Also, this platform that comes out the door to the gear tunnel, I've heard is load bearing, so I guess up to like 250 pounds you could use this as a step to more easily access the bed of the truck. So just everything that goes into this car seems like it's just like well integrated and useful. So that's another thing that I like about this car. But anyways, I'm almost done showing you guys the Rivian R1T. As there's not a whole lot going on in the bed of this truck. I know there's a Targa cover that kind of rolls out of the front there. I'm gonna point that out to you real quick so you can cover the things that are in your trunk. But that's really all there is to it. Overall, I love this thing, and let me know in the comment section below, what are your thoughts on the Rivian R1T? Knowing those specs and knowing the MSRP on this thing, do you currently have a reservation for one of these? Are you considering getting one? Let me know in the comment section below. But that's pretty much all I have for you guys on the Rivian R1T. Let's go check out the progress on my Model 3. But that's pretty much all there is to it. They already finished my car. It only took them like 30 minutes to tint the windshield. And as you can see, it looks way better. It looks a lot darker in there for one, but also cosmetically, it just looks a little more consistent with the tint that's on the rest of the windows. So that's kind of what I was going for, in combination with just reducing the heat that's getting into the cabin. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how the difference is with the temperature in the car once I start driving home. Like I was saying before, I highly recommend the services over at SmartFilm. If you need tint and you live in the Arizona area, give these guys a call. Super speedy, quick service. They even have loaner cars if you need to drop off your car in between work. But the theme of this video has been heat rejection, so I need to get out of the sun as soon as possible. If you want to learn more about the Rivian R1T as well, it'll be linked in the description below. Highly recommend checking out that car. I'm really excited to see more of those on the road. But that's all I've got for you guys. This has been Blake Check, and that's a wrap.